Hey, what's up, traders? This is the watch list video for, let me double check this, Wednesday, July 20th. Showing you the SPY. We had the gap up yesterday and kind of the ugly day, and then today gap up and a really strong down. The Dow was up like 800 points or something. I'm not sure, maybe in the sevens. Certainly a big move. I'm going to give a couple shout outs for some calls in chat today. MARA, which is big breakout. You know what, before I go to the call that was made during the regular session, let me go to like 2-minute candles and put it on after hours. And it probably, well, it might have been right after the closing bell. Peter C, hanging out and chatting after hours, said, hey, MARA may squeeze some more if it gets through that whole number 13. Basically topped out right at the whole number. Very strong move today. And you get this kind of flag and you get the 13 breaking pretty quickly to 1360. And it's holding up fairly well too. So anyone sticking around in after hours could have had that, and it was a really neat call. Let me get after hours off of there now. Just wanted to give a shout out. That was a great call by Peter. Keith R this morning called it on a red to green. So it looked about like this. I'm talking about MARA again. It was already on the watch list because of the big move yesterday. Then today gapped up. Red to green is just the way we define red to green is different than some. It's back through the opening price. Remember, we're day traders. I mean cash every night. So the open was 1036. So when it gets back up through there, it's kind of off to the races. It flagged for a little bit, but the stop was, I want to say like 25 cents below, never hit, and ended up, as you saw, going to 13 and still going in after hours. So that was a neat little call. I also mentioned Peter C for the after hours call. Bear with me a second here. I never want to get a name wrong. Yeah, it was also Peter C who called VERV in chat today, and basically just noticed that it was strong, right? So then it tops out slightly over 31 and kind of does this little cup and handle thing. His idea was that the famous second mouse play back through 31, knowing the high of day, was only 10 cents above that. And the 31 break within probably 6 minutes got you $1.40-ish before it came back down. As a day trader, you know how much money you can make there. So some neat calls today by Peter C. Keith R with the red to green on Mara. And I always try to use these videos, these watch list videos, to give a shout out to people in case too, those of you who weren't there in chat today, people always ask me, hey, who do I follow? Who should I follow on the hot script so I can get an audible alert, right? When one of them posts something in chat. And some of these wrap up videos or watch list videos where I show you some highlights, those can give you little tips, right? I don't like to recommend anybody. I want you to do chat room searches and see who called what and form a list yourself. But I try to give little hints to people. So what are we watching for tomorrow? APLD, big move. We'll see if we get a day trade set up in that one. MARA, obviously. A lot of shorts in the name, breaking out. LQDA, which is hitting new highs in after hours. I was trying to watch that one for a possible after hours trade too, but I started making this video instead. Anyway, strong move there. We'll see if it gets any follow through. SIDU, big volume today and a pretty strong close. CNK, Cinema broke out there. So that one's interesting. Could have a follow through day. If you weren't aware, Netflix reported in after hours. I'll show you that real quick here. I've got that on Gap Play Watch for tomorrow. Anyway, there's the daily closed at 201.63. As I'm talking right now, it's trading around 217. So a nice gap up there for Netflix. I'll just say it now instead of doing it later. That one's on possible Gap Watch tomorrow, right? TBLT. It's hard to see this one because everything's so scrunched together, but I'll zoom in for you. And it's actually kind of a handsome little setup. 3 sessions ago, topped out on decent volume for the stock, right? Topped out at 323. Today, 322. So you got to love it over that area. And then, I don't know, a few weeks ago, made a run to 395. So that is a handsome daily chart. We'll see if we get a setup in it tomorrow. HNST. I didn't trade this one today, but it was on my gap playlist, but I do want to show you something. Anyway, nice breakout today in this one. Decent volume. We'll look for a setup tomorrow. Or see if we get an intraday setup tomorrow. But look what it did on an intraday basis. Gapped up, sold off, went to new highs, went to new lows, and then it was a slow grind higher the rest of the day. So that, to me, is kind of squinky trading. So you want to be careful with it. But anyway, nice little breakout today. EVTL has been on our watch list, and it put in kind of a quiet inside day today, but still below yesterday's high. SKYX had the kind of breakout yesterday and a quiet inside day today. Certainly interesting over today's high tomorrow. It feels like a few more people have found it than when I was watching it back a few days ago when it looked like this. I felt like I was the only one watching it. But this big volume spike yesterday hopefully has put it on some traders' radar, and then maybe we get some action in it. We'll see. SFIX Stitch Fix gapped up the other day on an insider buy, I believe. 633 high. Today, 625 high. Back through 625 tomorrow. Then you've got over 33 as another potential catalyst. DMTK. Little breakout today on good volume. We're going to see if we get any kind of follow-through setup tomorrow. INMD had this big volume here for a couple days, and now it's kind of flagging. I love this symbol, GRRR. It's only been trading for 4 days, so it looked like it went public around 15, went all the way to 50, and then in a couple sessions is now down to new all-time lows, I think. The low of this day, 1426. Yeah, today closed at 1423. I'm just putting it on bounce watch. It seems to be just a crazy stock, but now we've got new lows. We'll put it on bounce watch, only with a proper intraday setup. And that's it. I mentioned Netflix already as a gapper, so I'm going to leave it at that. I'll see everybody in the chat room in the morning. Have a great night.